today to do what has not been done before in Michigan women's basketball history, hoping to take home their first ever Big Ten title.
Keep your eye on number 0 in blue. That's Naz Hillman going into the block to post up. She's a 20-point-per-game scorer, one of the tops in the nation, and she's capable of scoring inside and getting to the free throw line.
Kaiser knocks down the first shot, the mid-range jumper for the 6'3" senior out of Noblesville, Indiana. The starting 5 for the Hawkeyes, along with Clark, Martin, Marshall, Warnock, and Sonano. Warnock and Marshall did not play in the first meeting, which went to Michigan. It was a high-scoring affair, 98-90. Marshall on the mid-range, no good. They led by as many as 25, Debbie, and then Caitlyn Clark led a huge fourth-quarter comeback to make things close.
I mean, 46 points in Chrysler Arena. That was amazing by Caitlyn Clark.
Good pass back to the perimeter. Layla Filia, who's been coming on strong in the second half season, the freshman from Cincinnati, moved into the starting lineup with the injury to Leah Brown. And huge news today for the Wolverines. After missing a month, Leah Brown is available and ready to play today, coming off the bench. Averaging 15 tonight. As Monica Sonano scores inside, she is their other 20-point-per-game player.
Only 2 in the country. Only one team that has 2 20-point scorers, and that's Iowa.
Filia looking for another, and she's got it.
Couldn't be a better start on the road for Michigan. 3 for 3, getting shots that they want in their offense. Filia defending Caitlyn Clark. Not even got a good look at the basket yet. And it's early, it's only 2 minutes, but that's how important defending Caitlyn Clark is to slow down Iowa.
Filia is just a 25% shooter from downtown. She's knocked down a pair. It's not a team that relies heavily on the 3-ball. They like to pound it inside to Hillman. Kaiser spinning, draws the foul. As did Iowa. These are 2 programs that want to go much deeper in this year's postseason.
And they're both capable because they can score. And it's hard to defend both these teams with the balance they have on the offensive end. That's why we expect a very high-scoring game tonight. As a matter of fact, Iowa is 3rd in the nation at just under 85 points per game. And there's Caitlyn Clark, number 22, being defended by the freshman.
Filia draws the assignment initially. They want to take away her vision and take away her space. Marshall airs that one out. Lisa Bluter, the dean of Big Ten coaches. In fact, when you put the men's and the women's coaches together, only Bob Knight, Tom Izzo, Gene Cady, and C. Vivian Stringer have won more Big Ten games than Lisa Bluter has, including the 2019 Big Ten tournament. They're trying to win the regular season for the first time in a dozen years. Here is Hillman working against a double team. Good off the bounce, gets to the rim.
She gets a deep catch. She is so quick and explosive around the rim. You mentioned Caitlyn Clark's 46. Hillman had a 50-point game last year, so she's capable as well.
Martin gets the steal, and then Nolan takes it right back. Nolan is the big 3-point shooting threat. Couple years coming off the bench into the starting lineup this year for the junior out of Zionsville, Indiana. Her scoring has doubled, her shooting percentages all way up this season.
Well, she's definitely their best 3-point shooter, and she has the ability to stretch the floor. It's hard to bring a double to Naz Hillman when you've got Nolan on that side of the floor. Plus, Naz is so quick with her move that it's hard to bring a double anyway.
Warnock tries to get to the rim. Hillman, one of the best rebounders in the country.
But that's what you want to do when Hillman comes away from the bucket, Beth. You got to try to attack her off the bounce and see if you can pick up a cheap foul on her.
Well, they lost Nolan, short on the 3-ball. Rebounded by Sonano, the 6'3" senior. Here is Clark, looking for some room, finds some inside the line. And Hillman with another rebound. She's already got 3 to go along with a couple of assists and a basket.
You got to read the weak side before you try to throw that lob in. Good defense by Iowa on the backside, being ready in transition to load to the ball.
Iwo unable to knock it down. Tony, the senior, is quickly into the game. Nolan tries the left side, has it stripped.
These teams don't like to extend their defense. They're both pretty good in their quarter court. They like to play man-to-man. We will see some zone, though, out of both, just to try to protect inside out because the post play for both teams is so good.
Clark from the logo, her first shot downtown, and she drains it.
Are you kidding me? What did Lisa Bluter say? Trying to get your teammates involved first before you shoot that one three.
She's like, we'd rather see those later in the game. And Caitlyn said, we need a bit of a jump. They'll look for back to and get it.
And this is where Danielle Roush has matured on the top of the floor for Michigan. Kim Barnes-Arico doesn't need to call an early timeout, nor does she want to. And this crowd is up. Zone by Iowa.
Hillman doubled, skips it, and they swing it around to Roush. Buries the three, and the emotion from Danielle Roush.
Beth, that's what we were talking about today at shoot-around. Just the physical stature, the confidence, the maturity of Danielle Roush.
Clark dumps it off. Here comes Nolan. Roush going to try again. Clark with the board. It's not just her points. She averages 8 rebounds and 8 assists per game.
And she's already had 5 triple-doubles. Every night she's on triple-double watch. It's incredible, the IQ, the vision, her ability to rebound, immediately eyes up the floor to the rim.
Good ball fake again. Nolan gets lost on the perimeter, and another 3-ball from Michigan.
The Iowa is spending so much time protecting inside out, loading to the strong side. That's the best three-point shooter for Michigan. You can't have 2 feet in the paint on the weak side.
They average 4 per game. They've got 4 triples already in the first quarter. Clark steps away from failure and barely hits iron.
And so without Sinano on the floor and O'Grady inside, because Sinano picked up that cheap first foul, Caitlyn Clark's going to be looking for more shots now. I mean, she likes to deliver it inside, but she's certainly capable of calling her own number at any time.
5 points, a couple boards, a couple of assists. Hillman, the skip, Roush, the entry into Kaiser. Clark there defensively, forces her to go to the left, and Kaiser knocks it down.
You can't underestimate or undervalue the Emily Kaiser effect with Naz Hillman. She has been fantastic because she can stretch and shoot the 3, and she's a tremendous offensive rebounder when teams load to Naz Hillman.
O'Grady, good help from Hillman. Amped up about Iowa's chances today to win the Big Ten championship, but right now it's Michigan seeking their first title. Out in front, and they've got Leah Brown back on the court for the first time in a month. Number 32 in maize and blue.
It's great to see Leah Brown back. I think at the beginning of the season when we were asked to put in who our top 25 players in the country were, I had Leah Brown on my list. She's a capable 20-point shooter. She's a playmaker. She rebounds. She's a great fantasy line stack stuffer, right? If you had her in your fantasy team, you would win some games.
Working it inside, Cameron Williams. Boy, they've had a terrific balance inside and out here in the first quarter. And just like in the first meeting, they have opened things up early. Clark working inside on Nolan. Good defense from the Wolverines. And another Hillman rebound. That's her 5th already.
Oh, this is going to get physical. This is going to be feisty. Both these teams are well aware of what's on the line today.
Caitlyn Clark, 5 points so far through the first 9 minutes. Hillman just the 1 bucket, but she's been doing other things for the Wolverines. And the 3-ball.
Now, there are times when they like to get Caitlyn Clark off the ball, let someone else initiate the offense. What a big play by Kate Martin from the top of the floor.
They have 3 players that can shoot it better than 40% from outside. Hillman Strong defense there by O'Grady. Here they are again with Clark off the ball and Kate Martin at the point. Amy Dilk is now into the game, and her pass is picked off, and an easy one for Clark.
Getting some offense off her defense.
Brown threads the needle to Kaiser inside for the assist. Kaiser with 7 here in the first. Final seconds of the quarter. Runner good if it goes! And a three-pointer for Gabby Marshall. The Buckeyes, with a win over Michigan State, would share the title if Iowa beats Michigan here as we open up the second quarter. At an entertaining first one, 5-point advantage for the Wolverines. Clark and Hillman already having an impact as we anticipated.
Kaiser on Sinano inside, really battling for position.
Drops it off for Sinano. That was the first foul on Kaiser. Brown now defending on Clark. They'll work it inside. Sinano for 2 more.
Okay, so now I got to tell you about Sinano inside, Beth, because she dribbled to score. I watched all 214 of her made field goals coming into the game, and she all season has only dribbled 16 times to score. It's amazing how good her footwork is and how deep she catches and how quick she is with her move. I mean, 16 dribbles.
Counter there by Leah Brown on the offensive boards. Sinano right back. Martin, a 74% free throw shooter. Iowa, #1 in the country in both field goal percentage and free throw percentage.
Yeah, this is a high-powered offense. You have to be able to score with them. It's very challenging to contain them.
Both sides shooting better than 50% from beyond the arc, and that is the second personal foul on McKenna Warnock. So a starter out right now. Down to the line, 80%. Carolina at 7 Eastern. And then
Carolina sits in 3rd place in the ACC on the men's side. They've won 9 of their last 11. I think Hubert Davis has done a fantastic job putting it together after what you would call a slow start for the Heels.
Sinano, no dribble. There's assist Caitlyn Clark.
There's that half hook with the left.
Boy, what chaos yesterday in men's basketball. The top 6 ranked teams in the country all lost. Hillman catches over the top, assist Roush.
That's a great pass because you throw that pass to the corner of the backboard where only Naz Hillman can go up and get it. Ophelia has done a very good job guarding Caitlyn Clark. Until now, that's why you don't let her catch it.
Another deep 3 for Clark, her second. She's got 10 points in 12 minutes. Brown, boy, their entry passes from up top have been pretty good so far. Brown will keep it, trying to dump it off. Crowd reacting to the replay on the big screen here at Carver Hawkeye. Hillman.
Well, you got to take Sinano. Hillman, you get the one-on-one right there. You got to look to score that. You get a clear out. She's already got 1 foul. You got to be the aggressor there.
Clark feeling it right now. Can't knock that down. Roush with the rebound. Caitlyn's 2 for 4 outside. Nolan. Oh, she almost had another free look there. Ophelia off the bounce. Short. Martin has it. Both teams have cooled a bit shooting the ball here in the second quarter. They're sagging off of Martin. Clark now with Nolan on her defensively. Off the cross, the skip. Clark's alone. Tyler will take it herself for the lay-in.
What a smart play by the senior. Tommy Taiwo.
See if Michigan can take advantage. Brown from the elbow, in and out, and over the back. Down by as many as 11.
Well, Grady's going to have to keep working to shape up to the basketball inside because she can help change the spacing on the floor, like Sinano does.
Clark gives it back to Warnock. Right into the hands of Feuerbach, and the Hawkeyes are in front.
And Caitlyn Clark stretches that hedge all the way to the other side of the floor.
Brown, no. Good box out for Iowa. Taiwo. And Michigan with Roush. Off the bounce to the left side. Hawkeyes will come out with it. Warnock in the trail. Finally got their opportunity and now have a chance to be key cogs in a championship team.
Well, remember, Danielle Roush came by the recommendation of John Beeline, the former Michigan coach, to Kim Barnes-Arico, and then Emily Kaiser's gone from 2.5 points to nearly 10 points per game. She's one of the more improved players in the Big Ten.
Stripped out of there by Clark, and a foul. Send these guys to Greensboro.
Check, already done.
The other question, I think, is Iowa and Iowa State, can they both go to Wichita? And that, I think, would depend on Iowa State beating Baylor tomorrow night to win the Big 12. That's going to be a doozy. What a 24 hours in the state of Iowa. O'Grady assisted by Clark.
So coming off the ball screen, Michigan looks to trap Caitlyn Clark. She has tremendous vision. I might say she's untrappable, unflappable.
All right, we're also looking for Hillman to get a little more active, aren't we, Debbie?
Yes.
And she draws a foul.
Sees the floor too well.
She is 2 rebounds away from 1,000 rebounds and 2,000 points in her career. And you'll get a chance to see another one, the 2 active Power 5 players in that category, Ashley Jones, tomorrow night, Iowa State and Baylor. The 2 teams tied right now atop the Big 12 conference. They're expecting over 10,000 there.
That's going to be another big game. Baylor on the road at Iowa State. You know, Drake had a big crowd the other night. UNI is hosting this weekend at home. There's only 4 D1 schools in the state of Iowa, and they all draw well.
Leah Boston along the way, setting a new SEC double-double record that was previously held by Sylvia Fowles. Pretty good company to keep. Over the top again, the catch by Kaiser. Missed the chippy. Hillman, rebound, foul.
Lisa Bluter is giving it to Tim Daly right now.
Nas Hillman misses the first. She's a 75% free throw shooter. Her progression from a Big Ten 6th Woman of the Year, Freshman of the Year, all Big Ten Conference. Last year, the Player of the Year.
Work ethic, she changed her body. She's got an incredible motor. Strong, she's long, and her shot chart is in the paint. And that's where she does most of her damage, and we're seeing that coming off the last time out.
Dropped a 50-burger in a win last year on Ohio State. And of course, Caitlyn Clark here at the line put up 46 on Michigan earlier this year. We're talking about 2 of the top scorers in the country head-to-head today.
Well, there's only 20 scorers in the country in women's basketball that have averaged over 20 points a game. We've got 3 of them in our game, and there's going to be 2 tomorrow night over there in Ames with Melissa Smith from Baylor and Ashley Jones from Iowa State.
Yeah, who's the Player of the Year in that league? Clark, off the hesitation, drops it off for the assist inside. Addison O'Grady. Hillman, the double team came, tries to spin out of it. Iowa outscoring Michigan 18-9 here to take charge in this second quarter. Off the bounce, strong to the bucket for Feuerbach, and it's their biggest lead of the game. Hillman doubled and stripped. Clark. O'Grady with the catch. Timeout, Michigan.
Women's college basketball to lead the nation right now in scoring and assists.
Only happened once on the men's side, and that was Oklahoma's Trey Young. Filia pulls up and hits. That's a big bucket out of the timeout for the Wolverines.
Filia needs to do that a little bit more, I think. Get the floor spread.
Clark pulls up, deep three, and hits it.
Oh, wow.
15 in the half. Roush will try and match it. Under 2 minutes to go. Clark will try again. And again!
Come on!
She's got 18. Filia. Hillman grabs the rebound and the stick back, and that is rebound number 1,000 in Naz Hillman's career. Clark will try again. That one would have brought the house down.
You sure it's not already crumbling?
Final minute of this first half to decide the Big Ten. Hillman there again, and a foul on Clark. Their win today, and they are rooting hard for Iowa. If the Hawkeyes beat Michigan, then Iowa and Ohio State are co-champs. If Michigan wins this, they are outright title holders for the first time in school history.
Look, I don't want to get too excited, but I did call a good portion of Jackie Stiles' games at Missouri State when she was making her phenomenal run to the Final Four in 2001 and the Wade Trophy winner. It was amazing.
You're saying there's a little Caitlyn Clark
I see it.
on the Jackie Stiles tree?
I can see it. I've experienced it, so I know what it is.
A 50 burger for the Hawkeyes. Filia fouled on the drive. Filia 81% from the stripe.
As soon as Filia shoots this, she better face guard Caitlyn Clark. Don't let her catch. Yeah, you got to get up on her. Don't let her catch it. Don't let her get it back.
Final seconds of the half, and nobody was on her defensively. There are 3 Wolverines nearby. Clark will give it up. And they'll knock down the 3 anyway. Feuerbach hits it.
Hillman does not have any fouls. This is her time right here in the second 20 minutes to make it happen for Michigan.
Iowa looking for its first regular season title in 12 years. Michigan looking for its first ever in Big Ten conference play. And the Ohio State Buckeyes watching intently. As it stands right now, they would share the regular season title with Iowa, and they would be the #1 seed heading into the Big Ten tournament. But Hillman and the Wolverines have other plans here with 20 minutes to try and do something about it.
Sonano on a mismatch. Watch Sonano move her feet, post up. Gets inside, good help inside.
Win here all but assures them of hosting first and second round games for the NCAA tournament. Michigan right now looking like a very solid 2 seed. Corner J is good from Emily Kaiser. They would be hosting at Chrysler Arena for the very first time.
You can't impede the cutter.
Wide open look. Almost too much time for Kate Martin. Celia, he was solid, the offensive end, that first half.
They need to get her on a skip like that and let her attack a closeout. She's got tremendous foot speed. This time she gets the jump ball.
Nolan looking for the and one. No whistle, but she'll take the bucket. And Michigan off to a good start here in the third. Sonano with the counter.
They're dangerous in transition. You've got to sprint back and find the ball.
Both sides have had a double-digit lead in the game this afternoon. Off glass and good for Felia. Her career high 24 points was in the first meeting between these two sides. Michigan won it 98-90.
I'd go right back to that same set because Iowa went underneath that ball screen with Felia, and she can still turn the corner with her quickness in this matchup with Martin.
Kaiser, Warnock got a piece of it.
I like the body language and the workmanlike attitude of Michigan coming out to start the second half. I mean, they know they have to take Caitlyn Clark away from the three-point line.
So now short, but able to tip it back out. Marshall, 15-footer, gets the bounce. Roush had it knocked loose. Hillman. And here comes Clark. The transition points, 21 zip in favor of Iowa in that first half. Off the mark there. They also scored 11 points off of Michigan turnovers. Clark is there to intercept. Caitlyn Clark.
She averages 7 free throw attempts per game.
She is on pace to be the first player in history to win national scoring titles as a freshman with Jackie Stiles. A lot of folks, you know, recent memory thinking about Sabrina Ionescu at Oregon. Marshall got hung up and a foul committed against Felia. So we come back to Nolan with 2 free throws as the foul was upgraded.
Anyone can shoot the free throws. Michigan will get the ball back right here in front of us at the division line, opposite the scorer's table.
Notre Dame, right? Mount Notre Dame, is that what it was? All right, let's see if this gives Michigan a little juice. After trailing by 14 at the break and seeing their one-time 11-point lead dissolve. Hillman wants it back. She'll get it back. And a foul on Sonano. And that free throw gives Naz the double-double, 10 and 10, as she has hit the 2,000-point, 1,000 rebound threshold here this evening.
Overall, though, Iowa has done a very good job on her. She's 3 for 7 from the floor.
Offensive rebound gets another possession, and Nolan hits the 3.
I think Michigan's got a run in them, for sure. And here it comes. It's an 8-point lead for Iowa.
Weak side, Nolan boards. Roush, big decision coming here for Michigan. Get her a touch, they do. Faces up, gets it knocked loose, and it's out of bounds to Iowa. Good double team. See if Clark looks to make some noise. Quiet so far in this third quarter after the big second quarter, and a held ball. Just 2 points so far in this quarter for Caitlyn. After 20 in the first half. Steps back off the cross and hits it.
On cue.
Her parents trying to rev up the crowd. Brent and Ann. Felia splits the defense and missed the gimme. Hillman scraps for that loose ball.
What
And
a
she'll head
rebound.
back to the line.
Are you kidding me? I wonder where her strength comes from. She is a well-conditioned athlete. There's incredible endurance. Takes a lot of strength to be able to shoot those logo threes.
Hillman, as she is wont to do, gets to that free throw line. 11 points, 11 rebounds. Excuse me, 12 points, 11 rebounds. 6 of 10 from the line. And under 4.5 to go here in the third quarter. O'Grady. She may be up for more minutes here in the second half. She's got 3, Sonano's got 3, and Warnock all with 3 fouls. Crowd getting a little antsy though. It's been a quiet third quarter in the scoring department for both sides. Roush can't connect from 17.
Clark, you got to shadow her, you got to stop her, you got to stay between her and the basket.
Steps back outside the line.
And
Triple number 6.
It may not matter.
Clark with 28 on 9 of 15 shooting.
She's so good at switching sides of the floor in transition. That's really hard to guard.
Martin off the bounce, gets into the lane. Gets her own miss. Clark weaving inside the line this time, and Hillman has it.
Too close. Too close, she had to use the glass.
Kaiser got to the left side for 2.
Kaiser first down, good early post up. Good quick hitter by Michigan.
Hillman, good help, gets the steal. Naz will look to go coast to coast. Dan lays it in with the left. Back into single digits for Michigan.
There's that motor of Naz Hillman on the defensive end. All business-like.
They could use some more easy ones.
So Michigan is going to go a little bit bigger with more length with Leah Brown on the ball.
A little chatter going back and forth from both sides.
Oh, Sonano was open in a deep post.
Skip to Marshall.
Is excellent timing on the inside.
Second foul on Kaiser. Trying to lob over the top to Sonano. And she makes it on the other side over her head.
She's got great hands. She catches everything.
10 points for her. Amy Dilk into the lane, assisted by Brown.
Amy Dilk had been the starting point guard. Didn't play in the NCAA tournament last year. Been bothered by some knee issues.
Marshall off the ball fake. Brown tracks it down. Returning to the lineup for the first time in a month is Leah Brown from Michigan. Dilk gets an open look. Around and out. Warnock with the box. Clark pulls up in traffic and hits it.
She looks at Bluter. Bluter says, number 1. I guess that means call your own number,
Look out
Caitlyn.
for number 1.
So the shot clock resets to 30.
Clark creates some space. Knocks down another one.
You gonna flop?
Number 8, and she's got 34. Kaiser spins.
Nalissa Smith at Baylor could be the number 1 draft pick, but Ashley Jones could be the player of the year in the Big 12.
See those two head-to-head tomorrow night.
So, I mean, there's lots of conversation here. It's very subjective. There's no specific criteria. Is it the best player? Is it the most outstanding player? Is it the most valuable player?
A lot of different National Player of the Year awards as well. Crowd senses this is a big moment here for Iowa. Michigan got away with a walk. Good ball movement. Brown's got to look at a three. They can hold for one.
Even not in the game, Caitlyn Clark's over there coaching.
Sonato. Biggest lead for the Hawkeyes. Roush will have to hustle to get it away. As it stands right now, they would be the 2 and the 3 seeds with a possible date in the Big Ten semifinals. Ohio State right now sits as the 1 seed, sharing the regular season championship with Iowa. 10 minutes left for Michigan to do something about it. Caitlyn Clark with 34 points, 8 of 11 from downtown, including a few from the logo today, from the Herky beak. How about a triple for Warnock? Her first points of the day.
How about 13 triples for Iowa in the game? 13 for 25. They're shooting 52% as a team.
Michigan works it inside. Cameron Williams.
Yeah, Cameron Williams is going to be a good player at Michigan. She's got length. She goes against Naz Hillman every day in practice. That's got to make you better.
Clark swatted out of bounds. It's been a memorable first 3 quarters. What's in store in the 4th? First sellout since 1988. 34 points and 7 assists. So that's
impressive.
And she's, you know,
pretty good.
About had a hand in at least 50 points today for her team, depending on how many 2s and 3s they made off of those passes.
Well, I think the key is you got to keep her on the same side of the floor. Right? You can't let her switch sides of the floor in transition.
Clark looking for another assist, and that's number 8. And they are pouring it on.
When you write the story of Caitlyn Clark,
with the win today, she would tie Vivian Stringer for the most wins on the women's side in Big Ten conference games, and it's headed that way. And isn't it fitting, Debbie? It's the first sellout crowd since Stringer was here back in the late 80s against Nancy Darsh. The last time that happened, 1992, they sent 2 teams to the Final Four in 1993. And of course, Purdue won the national championship in 1999. Filia with 13. Hillman's got the double-double again, 14 and 12. Hillman dribbles to the right side. Roush comes out with it. She'll try for 3, no. Nolan, another attempt. And Filia to the line. Regular season championship. Baylor and Iowa State both tied. Melissa Smith, Ashley Jones. Yeah, that's tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Okay, Ames, what you got? I think you got Elisa Kunade at NC State.
Louisville still lurking. They crushed Notre Dame today. Both of those teams out of the ACC currently have number 1 seeds, according to the selection committee's last reveal. Marshall, as Iowa sets a new season high with a 15th triple.
What's that thing about defense and rebounding? I don't know. Gotta think offense. winning their first Big Ten championship. But you know what? I do think they might see each other again in the Big Ten tournament. They returned all 5 starters from last year. The same group's coming back next year again. Sonano announced earlier this week that she would return for another season.
Clark keeping the dribble alive. The double, gets it to Sonano. Off the dribble, and lays it in.
2 dribbles. That is off 2 dribbles.
Off the steal, Marshall is fouled.
Now Sonano, and you can see O'Grady is a promising player as well.
Well, such consistency on that bench under Lisa Bluter over the last 22 seasons.
They teach not to dribble. They work hard to get a deep post. They do a great job of shaping up to the ball, and it's really a nice post clinic on the inside.
Knocked loose by Marshall. Will she get rewarded? She'll give it up. Clark wants it from deep. Will walk with it. Female hooper in Division I has ever done. And oh, by the way, she also averages 8 rebounds a game. Julia fouled. The pride of Dowling Catholic in West Des Moines.
It's pretty remarkable what she's been able to do with her size and her frame. She's got a great handle, great vision. You can see that she has learned to control the ground. She understands what I call the 3 W's, who to get the ball to, when and where. And obviously she's most dangerous in transition.
Minutes to go for a Big Ten regular season championship. Roush knocks down the triple. And a full court trap coming here from Michigan.
And the 3-point shooters in the corners. Yep. It opens up the floor. And so that's what I'm talking about. When she changes from one side of the floor to the next, Beth, in traffic, it's easy to lose your defender. It's really hard to guard her. Kelsey Mitchell did the same thing at Ohio State.
We had a list over our coffee this morning at breakfast. You know, players like Jackie Stiles, like Cheryl Swoops and Angel McCautry, those amazing offensive players that had terrific teammates around them that carried them to the Final Four, that got a few of those guys national championships.
It's a pretty good list of players.
Is this the kind of Iowa team that can get them deeper into the tournament?
I watched Cheryl Swoops drop 47 on Ohio State in 1993.
That was when the Big Ten had 2 teams at that Final Four. Amazing career for Michelle to get that honor.
Long time, dedicated service to telling the stories of the game.
They are getting a roar ready for when Caitlyn Clark takes a bow. 9 assists.
About time we start seeing that Big Ten trophy make an appearance towards the end of this game.
Looking very much like they will earn a share with Ohio State, the 2 winningest programs in Big Ten history in terms of holding the hardware. Trying to step through. Hillman with her 15th rebound to go along with 18 points. Brown will pull up. What a big return she's going to be in the postseason for the Wolverines. Warnock with the finish. And is that number 10 on the assist board for Caitlyn Clark? Yes, it is. And the Hawkeyes pushing a hunch. Rebound number 6. 4 shy of the TD.
Caitlyn, as the shot clock runs down. Who's the biggest celebrity that's reached out to you through this whole run this year?
For 3 and another assist.
She said, yes.
Oh, Kevin Durant got
Yes,
hold of
Steph.
it, right?
Yeah, Kevin Durant. She said, how about Mr. Beast? All the kids know who that is.
You're
on
trying to
YouTube.
up your street cred right now, aren't you? And here it is, Clark.
She's tired. She looks at Coach Bluter and says, I think I've had enough.
Nope, not yet. Gonna stay in just a touch longer, and now Bluter will look down the bench. And they will get a sub in for Clark. They're gonna have to go back to Sonano. I don't think they have anybody else to put in right now. And Clark is beat. And here she comes.
Infectious personality. Really fun to watch today. Really fun. That is a ticket selling player. That's why this house is full.
And they hit the century mark through the Hawkeyes as they zoom in on the Big Ten championship.
Tell you what, I like this Michigan pressure. They might have to consider doing a little bit more of this earlier in the game because it has changed the tempo of the game for them.
That's one of the old scoreboards here at Carver Hawkeye. They don't have a third digit. It is not 77-0. Oh, now Clark's back in.
Caitlyn Clark checking in for Iowa.
Do they need the ball handling to beat the pressure?
I believe so.
Danielle Roush at the free throw line. Final reveal tomorrow, as well as that Baylor-Iowa State game.
That double bye in conference tournaments this year across the board is so imperative if you want to win a title in the tournament. It is too hard to hold on to 2 top spots. It would certainly appear that way. They may end up playing each other again as well in the ACC tournament. It would have to be in the final. What's the winner?
I think everybody agrees.
Bridgeport expects South Carolina to win out. They will go to Greensboro.
Paige Beckers is back. The rest of the Huskies have improved. That's a big deal if they get to stay in Bridgeport, which could affect Michigan as a potential another number 2 seed. They may end up going to Greensboro. How nutty would Wichita be if both Iowa and Iowa State are there, by the way? This is the latest bracketology. Of course, it changes daily with Charlie. And that final reveal tomorrow. And that big Baylor-Iowa State game tomorrow night. Go to ESPN.com to see all the latest from Charlie. Foul on the drop. That's a 9 of 11 shooting.
It's been impressive. Lisa Bluter has done a fantastic job coaching this team and getting them to the championship. Indiana was picked to win the Big Ten this year. They had everybody coming back. You know what? They're going to regroup, though. That's a good basketball team.
Reached the Elite 8 last year. Final minute, and they're on their feet. Set to celebrate their first Big Ten crown in 12 years.
Ever since Maryland got in the league, they really haven't let anybody share any championships with them. Congratulations to Brenda Fries with her success this season.
Hawkeyes will be co-champs with The Ohio State University.
And congratulations to Kevin McGuff and Ohio State as well.
And this will do it, the 2022 Big Ten co-champs, the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Ohio State Buckeyes. (104-80), Caitlyn Clark 38 points and 11 assists.